January 12th, down here at the shipping container underneath the tower there, Citadel Tower. There's a big windstorm a couple nights ago, and it lost a solar panel. It blew it right off, and then it fell down right there. You see the square where it was. But luckily, the solar panel seems to be in decent condition. It ripped a wire, one wire, and then the other just kind of disconnected somehow. And so I think I'll be able to rewire it. Thing is, there's 9 panels here, and there's 3 panels in a series, and then 3 parallel sets of 3 panels in a series. So losing 1 panel means that there's 3 that are basically disconnected. But it's kind of confusing how this is all wired, but I'm pretty sure 6 are still generating. I just checked on the batteries and they're getting current. And then over here on the farm, look at that. There's a whole shed that got blown. There was a shed that was about as big as that shed over there. And it got totally devastated, taken out, and took that fence out there. So it was an intense windstorm. But, well, this is actually the first I've checked on the fence here. The fence seems like it didn't fall apart, luckily. And at some point it will, some year. I reinforce it every year a little bit, but it is a limited thing. The Citadel is going to be fine, it's fucking solid. But that's the latest windstorm, and there's supposed to be another like hurricane force windstorm coming this winter. So basically what happened is the wind got underneath of the thing and flipped it up, basically. So I got to reinforce these other ones on the edges to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. And I got to do that before the next big windstorm. And I'll probably just leave it at 6 panels generating until the summer maybe, or when it warms, we'll see. But there's no big rush to rewire that and get it all reconnected because there's plenty of power. It's Friday, end of January, or January 26th. We have 5 days left. And it's got a beautiful winter sunset going over the mountains. Some fog in the middle of the valley, kind of like in a cloud. And the chickens in the afternoon are watching the sunset. Hey, Nightshade. She's a sweetheart. How about you, Mr. Puff? Good boy. That's Art over there. That's all. It is Sunday, March 3rd, and I just rebuilt this fence after yesterday I had come through with her tractor and mowed down these fence posts, shearing off 2 over there, and irreparably bending several others while breaking the fence. And so what I did today, so you see this bottom line here, the black line has an electric fence within it. You can see right here there's a break in the plastic that was there previously. And so that exposed part is lifted off of the ground with an insulator, and then it goes back to being insulated. This used to be up against that green fence, and I had to remove it from the territory of Elodium so that her property is not within the territory of Elodium. And over here you can see it's been reconnected to the same electric line that it was connected to before. It used to just be connected over at the corner of the green fence and the electric fence. And so it's just been moved to the outside of my fence here, while I also basically improved its efficiency by taking out the grounds that it had. I maintained the fence line even beyond an area that I'm responsible for, so that it can carry a charge all the way to the corner fence post, which is the fence post with that's in that white barrel that you can see there. So I did some maintenance over here, cleared out all the bushes, like from where the insulator ends right here, and then it's exposed wire again. There's a whole bunch of weeds all over the line here where it just had tons of grounds, so I cut all these weeds back and improved the line. So the line will work better now than it did before. and it no longer goes through the territory of Elodium. And I'm in the process of repairing this fence line again from when I previously built it, and then she destroyed it yesterday. And there was no reciprocal action, no destructive action taken by me. I'm just repairing the fence, and she's just being charged damages for the damage that she purposely did with the tractor. And so here's also some more evidence of the damage that was done. So this T-post was broken, and somewhere in the ground here, there's a sheared, right here. I guess I don't see it. Somewhere around here, there's the sheared bottom of that post. You can see this one clearly. This is a piece of metal from the T-post that was there that just got sheared by the tractor, so that's a big hazard for any animal stepping on it. But luckily, since I put the other fence post right there, it's unlikely that an animal will step on it because the other fence post is right there. But if the fence post wasn't there, just like she sheared it off, that is a very dangerous, sharp, exposed piece of metal that would easily damage an animal. And I think there's 3 that were sheared. You can see these last 3 posts here are extra short because I drove them back in after they were sheared. So, so here's the, oh well, it's a little difficult to find the bottoms. I don't want to waste the time to look for the sheared exposed parts, but there's either 2 or 3 of them, just like that one. So anyways, now I'm just documenting the repair of the fence line and the damage is done, and the fact that there was no damage done to any of her property in the process of moving this electric line from the base of the green fence to the edge of the T-post fence, so that it does not intersect the territory of Elodium, which goes to the edge of the T-post here. So this whole area, this little kind of triangular type area, I've been using exclusively. I've been storing my fence panels here and over there, and I've been maintaining the bushes and trees here and there, and paths that go through this area. And this area hasn't been grazed at all for basically ever. It's never been grazed in the entire time that she's had the farm here. I've also got a manure pile over there that I have my property covering, as well as pallets. I've been using that and maintaining that for several years. That wood pile just got here in the last couple days. And then these blackberry bushes and stuff I've been maintaining. So she hasn't been using this territory at all. I've been using it exclusively for many years. It has absolutely no use relative to the farm, other than previously having that fence line go across it. Now the fence line goes here. It still works just as well. And none of this is impeding on her rights in any way. And this is the exclusive territory of Elodium with no competing property within this little territory, which obviously that green fence is also territory of Elodium. So it's just from the corner of the green fence there along this fence line and then to the corner of that fence. And then you can see there's a couple of simple gates to allow access into here. And then there's another fence line on the inside of her fence line with some T-posts and a line of property that connects the T-posts and then connects over here to the corner of the green fence, so that it just encloses this little area right up to the road to be utilized within Elodium. That's all. It's the morning of March 4th, 2024, and yesterday evening this fence was destroyed again with malicious intent by her tractor, by her will. And the damage is about twice as bad as it was last time. Last time this T-post, which was there, was bent irreparably, but I was able to unbend a lot of it. This time it was sheared. The base of it being here. Another hazard. Metal object like that, sharp and jutting out of the ground, is a clear hazard. This one also sheared. It's got another metal hazard in there. This one, it's not clear if that was sheared or if that just ripped out. This one bent, perhaps irreparably. Again, there was no attempt to resolve whatever her conflict is non-violently by her. She originally communicated that her conflict was that my property was enclosing her property, at which point I removed her property, this fence line, to the external property line of my property. And then she had communicated that she didn't want to see a person living here in a bus, a tenant. And so I also communicated to her that the tenant will now be parking within the green privacy fence so that she doesn't have to see it, which was actually her suggestion. So her concerns are being addressed. She is continuing to destroy property with no intent to resolve the conflict that she has other than through violence and aggression. This one also sheared, and you can see the base of that one right here. And additionally, this time, part of the PVC was shattered, so one of the PVC lines was broken and the other one is missing. So property theft has been added to the charge because she stole the other piece of PVC. It's not anywhere within sight, and it clearly went with her and the tractor. So she's been assessed additional property damage, and because this is the second example of it with malicious intent, especially in light of me having made 2 efforts to address her concerns, both at the property line and the tenant not going to be parking outside of the green privacy fence in this area, despite me having every right to allow them to do so. Her concerns have been addressed, and yet she has continued in this way, so she has been charged additional punitive damages, as well as notified that if the property is not returned, she will be charged additional punitive damages. For the time being, debt that is owed to her is being written off as a kind of a buffer so that no other actions are taken. She's simply damaging herself in doing so and wasting my time. So today, I will rebuild the fence for the 3rd time, and she's been notified that if she destroys it for a 3rd time, the debt owed her, which is a buffer for nonviolent conflict resolution, will be erased after following the next round, as no more debt will be owed her, and depending on the damages, there may be additional punitive damages. So we shall see what happens. I found the missing piece of PVC. It's about over 100 yards away from where it was broken apart from the fence, but I'm going to reclaim it now. Later in the day, on March 4th, 2024, I was able to mostly straighten those out, get a double line of barbed wire through here. Some of these are getting comically short, especially that one, which I think has been sheared twice now, or it's getting shorter, and there's probably like a half dozen sharp metal bars sticking out of the ground now of the sheared bottom parts of the T-posts, which are serious hazards for animals or vehicles, could easily pop a tire, thanks to aggressions and property destruction. But I got it about as fixed as I can get it. The barbed wire that used to be the gate here was stolen in the tractor, so it's no longer there. And then this barbed wire was sheared in 2 places, so I had to use an extra piece to connect that one to that one, which was kind of like a 3rd line in this section, which was an extra. But I didn't have any barbed wire to do this gate anymore because that was taken away, stolen. But I was able to reclaim the 1 piece of PVC, which was undamaged. It was just stolen and over there, but I reclaimed it. And so it's kind of janky, but this kind of works as a gate property line. It's pretty janky for that. And instead of this nice double PVC thing that looked kind of nice, now it's all like crooked T-posts. I pounded this one in, which was sheared again. Did my best to just kind of straighten those out, though clearly they're not straight. And still an unbroken property line from that corner of the green fence over to that corner of the green fence, enclosing this area. And also she damaged her own electric fence in the last destruction wave. And whereas previously it wasn't grounding out, now it's grounding out right here. But I'm not about to repair her electric fence this time. I had secured it to the bottom of the T-post before, so it was like off of the ground a little bit. But now it's grounding out there. And luckily I don't think it was damaged on the far side where it connects to the fence, and the electricity is still going through, because you can hear that clicking, which is the charge going through the electric line. So this is the state of repair that I got it to today. We'll see if she destroys it for the third time in a row tonight. It's March 15th. The bus is parked behind the privacy fence as communicated, and in the interim, the barbed wire on this fence section here has been removed and stolen, and she's threatening further property destruction. So I'm in the process of removing my property from her barn, from her property, so that there's a full separation of property. And the debt owed to her from Elodium from years back of using a field has been written off. So there's no more remedies for further property destruction other than response in kind. And if there is further property destruction, it will be seen as an act of war. And hopefully there is no warfare. So this is basically the final result of this fence line border dispute. The posts were all removed without permission, and all of the barbed wire was stolen. And it's unclear to me if the sheared parts of the T-posts are still in the ground or if they were removed, because I didn't really mark them clearly. But all the T-posts lost their those things, their metal things. And so the T-posts were left here after they were removed. And because of the property theft and the property line destruction, there was one unspecified action for restitution of damages. And otherwise, I'm not going to rebuild this now. It has been a waste of time, though it has benefited Elodium by writing off all of its debt to this individual with the farm. Look at these cute girls. And the bus is in behind the fence, and the fence line is still kind of intact, though there are continued threats about this manure pile and other I don't really understand what the issue is, because there's been many communications, but there's been no real communication about what the big deal is about this area. Like what rights are being infringed. There's no rights being infringed. The road is not being infringed on. There's no one grazing this. There's no one else using it. So anyways, it seemed like a silly, you gotta pick your battles. It seemed like a silly battle for the other person to pick. Hey girl, how are you? This is Strident. She's so beautiful. Hi. She's got one blue eye, one black eye, and here's Starbuck. And she's bossy. She's the bossy girl. She's usually the one who comes up first. Oh yeah, she says, what's going on with all of this? Oh, you sweet girls. They are just so friendly. And they grow so quickly. Ooh, you're alright. I think she touched the fence. Good girls. So that's all for now for down here. See you later, Starbuck. I started it. It is March 17th. Down here at the foot of the Citadel by the shipping container. There's a couple days left of winter, and I'm getting started on actually the second project already of this season. Getting a really early start. The first one was working on the bathroom, turning the original Earthship structure into a bathroom, and it's not completely done, but the shower is all hooked up. It was catalyzed by a new person entering into the scene rather abruptly and catalyzing all sorts of exciting changes, and then they left the scene just as abruptly. And so now I'm reprioritizing from house comfort things to more infrastructure. And so I got all the materials for this shed structure today, and I'm basically building a shed along more than half of the length of the shipping container, and using these metal posts to anchor the posts in, and then just gonna do a little 8-foot roof to be able to move some more storage things out here, reorganize some stuff, and then make some more room up in the garage area to be able to work on that maybe next. But here's like the before picture. I've got basically just this one post kind of straightened in, working on the second post over there. It's just gonna be 4 posts and then a bit of framing and then some metal. And weather permitting, I'll be able to do it all in the next 2 days. So here's the before. So after this afternoon, it's sunset, and all 4 posts are in and straight, and the rest of the wood is all unloaded. So the vehicle can be moved, and tomorrow I should be able to get all of the metal on the roof after framing it and cutting the posts, and that's the plan. So it's Monday morning, the day after. I've got I think they're called the face plates, the beam things up there. And those are 2x8s of fir, and I'm just figuring out the template for the rafters to get the right spacing and the right length. Missing my good friend, but carrying on. So it's afternoon, Monday the 18th. Ready to break for lunch. Got all of the rafters up there. And next, ready for the strapping and the metal after lunch. So it's Monday evening, the day before the equinox. So the last or second to last day of winter. And the metal is all on the roof. It's not completely done. I have to add some screws later on, and I'm going to use the last lumber and maybe move some of the other pieces of lumber to reinforce it a bit better, because it's not that heavy, and just to make sure that the wind never takes it away. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and this area needs a bit of groundwork to do now to make it fully usable. But I've got a lumber rack there. And I might end up putting a couch right here because I need to move it out of the shipping container or something along those lines. I might close off some of the end of this so that it has less of a kind of wind profile for the wind to be able to get under there. And that would also help with a potential couch in there. But that's all for today. Really happy with the outcome. And I might be able to finish it up tomorrow. We'll see. Also, here's a quick sneak peek into the Earthship bathroom. This was the first room I built off-grid and lived in through the first winter. And it's currently in the process of transformation into a bathroom. The shower is finally working, and there's a new on-demand hot water heater that works very well. Nice and hot and good pressure. This sink vanity thing found on the side of the road, though the faucet turns out is broken, so I need to replace that. But I've got water over to there, pressure water, once I can replace the faucet. And the front of the vanity there used to be the bed that I one time slept on top of, and then later behind. Both mirrors there are recycled, some nice lighting, and there's a tub here which is dirty, but it's all porcelain and easy to clean. And I'm in the process of plumbing the tub, so the tub can also be used. I'm going to rebuild the base of the tub, though. So that's kind of the bathroom in process. It's still a work zone, but the shower is working well. Here's the final update for the woodshed this winter. If you've watched the previous winter update, or like the second fall update maybe, you could see there was a wood stack on the left where all that stuff is. And I was thinking it would get through January before getting onto the other wood stack, but it ended up getting through the first week of March, both from increased efficiencies and then just a pretty warm winter. So I just barely started getting into this wood stack, so most of that is going to end up getting used next winter. And this stuff over here was basically taken out of the couch. Was in the gate tower rental. That got removed because the tenants didn't want it. The table and other things basically got taken out of the barn because I had some property in the barn, and I got all of my property out of the barn and the farmhouse. And then the cement mixer, which had broken at the end of last season, the steel had buckled of the stand. I got that, took that to a metal repair shop. They welded a thicker stock of metal on, so it's even stronger now than it was before. The hole they did wasn't exactly square, so this is a little crooked, but it'll be totally fine. So basically, that cement mixer is all ready to go. Hey, Nightshade, what are you doing over here? Everyone else is already in the courtyard. You best not be out here all by yourself. Come on. Back in the courtyard. Hurry up. Can't be out here all by yourself, girl. Gotta have one of those boys with you. And then also this pile of stone got all used up in the road maintenance. I'm maintaining the road past the black gate, which marks the jurisdiction, and then all the way down to where the road connects to the farm road. Further down, I've been maintaining. And this area above, in that loft area through the window, that's the one I'm intending to clean out. So I just built that shed, and I'm going to be moving all that stuff out of there to empty that out, and then eventually I'm thinking my next project is going to be working on this loft, kind of enclosing it and making it a usable space. So that will be a springtime project, probably like a pre-season. The season technically starts in May. Springtime project. And then one other thing that, well, maybe I'll get into it later, but there's been a 13-month calendar created for Elodium. Each month having 28 days. Girl, what are you doing? You gotta get back in the courtyard. Come on. What are you standing around me for? And Genesis is on, in the Gregorian calendar, October 10th. But in the Elodium calendar, Genesis is its own day. Go on, keep going. Choo, 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 all the way into the courtyard. Go on. Keep going. Go, 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 go. I try not to come over here because it's like the private space of the gate tower. So anyways, on the weekly reports now, I'm using the Elodium calendar, which at this point it's a different day of the month and a different day of the week. But after the transition is made, it is actually a far superior calendar, because each month has 28 days, 4 weeks, starting on a Sunday, ending on a Saturday. So each report is always published on the same day of the month, on the same day of the week. And everyone's like birthday is on the same day of the week every year. And there's a number of other improvements. Oh, there's another girl. Girl, what are you doing over here? Come on, go in the courtyard. These girls, I think they had gotten on the wrong side of the fence. And sometimes they have trouble finding their way back to the courtyard if they go on the wrong side of the fence. So anyways, I'll shoo her back to the courtyard, and that is it for the winter update. And up next will be some spring projects.